Hello, everyone. Welcome to another T1D Tuesday.
Yay!
I'm so excited. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Nuclear or Nukes. I'm glad that I get to be here with Elia today hosting T1D Tuesday, where we talk all things T1D. I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic over to Elia and let her introduce themselves.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Elia. I'm an illustrator and cartoonist here on Twitch, and I'm a type 1 diabetic.
Yay. Well, not yay, but...
yeah, not yay, but like, oh my god, we're not alone.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you know the feeling.
Yeah. But yeah, I was diagnosed when I was 8 years old, and I've just been living with it since. And I hope to be able to use my platform, no matter what size it is, to just bring awareness and help out with Breakthrough T1D, as they were there for me when I was first diagnosed.
Yes. I love that. I also was diagnosed when I was 8 years old, actually. And we got our matching shirts on today.
They're so comfy.
We're starting off great. So obviously you have, you yourself are living with type 1 diabetes. And you said that, did you get like a Rufus and stuff when you were diagnosed? Was that your first encounter with, I guess, JDRF at the time?
Yeah, so funny enough, I never got a Rufus as a kid. I don't know if it was just because I was in a small town or whatever, but Rufuses weren't there. But they did have, like, there was a diabetic, I forgot the name of it. It was like a clinic that they would do like support things when they heard someone got diagnosed, like, and would give resources. And we got the packet of the JDRF stuff, because back then it was JDRF. And it was just like so much information, all the helpful things as you get newly diagnosed. And so, like, my mom, I think, was even part of the support groups for parents back then. And so, like, the JDRF was like right there from the get-go. And I'm really glad that they were. But one day I will get a Rufus bear.
Have you gotten one from fundraising yet, or do we still need to get you there?
So I earned the Rufus bear, but I only got the shirt this last round.
Oh no!
So next round I shall get the bear.
We need to get you a Rufus. Yeah, this year. Yeah. This is your year to finally get a Rufus. A little overdue. We gotta get you one.
Yeah.
So then growing up, did you participate in, I participated, I know, in like JDRF walks growing up.
Yeah.
Did you also get to participate in those?
Yeah, I got to do a couple in my early newly diagnosed years, and it was just really cool. It was like, like, this is something people actually know about, because like, we would travel for them, and then because like in my small town, I felt like the only type 1 diabetic there. And so just doing these kind of groups and things just kind of like opened my eyes to like, I'm not alone. Okay, yay.
Yeah. It is so important. That's why I love our community here, because it is so important to, like, there are so many of us out there that have type 1 diabetes, and it's such an invisible illness that you just don't realize. Like, I'm sure in your small town there were definitely other people living with type 1 diabetes, but you just don't really know it unless you see something like, they have a pump or constant glucose monitor on. And back then, when I'm sure you were diagnosed, those were not, I don't know when pumps would have come out, but they were not as common back then.
No, like, I don't think I encountered I didn't get my pump until I was in middle school, or actually early high school. So I was already a teenager by then, but before then it was all injections.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was like? Like, what was your diagnosis story, and how did you feel? What do you remember about that day?
Oh my god, it's probably like a core memory. Yeah, like, I try to remember all the details best I can, just because I do like sharing the story for awareness. I was 8 though, so my memory isn't the best, but I do remember, like, so it was literally the first day of 3rd grade that I was diagnosed, but like the few months before, as I was ending 2nd grade, I was super chunky. Like I was a super chunky kid. Summer happened. I came back first day of 3rd grade and I had lost so much weight, just like that. And like, I was like, oh my God, I'm slaying, you know, like whatever. But like my teachers were like, no, like that's not good, girl. Like get her to a doctor. And so I had an ear infection that first day of school. So we went in for that. And of course, like my doctor's like, hold up, like, no, we got to do some tests. And so the tests were run. I remember going home and a phone call happening and my mom just crying on the phone. And I was like, oh no, what's happening? And so then I ended up in the hospital for a week to get everything managed, learn everything. And then I went back to school and it's like, hey guys, I got to do something new in my routine every day. That's not normal, but this is me now. And like the thing that I remember the most, because like this is elementary school and kids are like, whoa, what?
Yes,
weirdo. But like, my 3rd grade elementary teacher, her husband had diabetes, so she was like, I understand.
Oh, that's really nice that you had a good supportive adult in your school.
Yeah, it was a relief. And honestly, like had she not been my teacher, the journey of that first year of diabetes would have been a lot harder for sure.
I also was in 3rd grade when I was, we're both 8. That makes sense. So like same age, but like I feel that we're like, that's kind of a weird age, I think, for like kids where like, it's, I think kids bully about some weird things at that age. So like having that support and like people and kids don't understand what type 1 diabetes is unless, you know, they have already a pre-existing connection. So it's I can imagine that was difficult. How did your friends react? Were they supportive or?
So no, and it's kind of a sad story. So I know. It's okay. I've grown from it.
Yeah, that was so long ago, but yes.
It's so long ago. It sticks with me though, because like, so I had a best friend. We did everything together. We went to dance, like we even went to the same church together. Our moms were kind of friends. And then like when I got diagnosed, she wouldn't talk to me as much anymore, but it wasn't like the cut, like you're not my friend anymore. But her birthday came around, it was a couple months later, and she was handing out invitations to her birthday party. And she was handing them out in front of me. And like, it was obvious that I was not getting one. And so I asked her, like, am I not invited to your party? And she's like, well, no, it's because you're diabetic. You can't have cake. Like, straight up, that was like, it was like I had been stabbed in the heart. Like, as a little, like, 8-year-old, it was devastating. And like I don't remember like much after that except like our moms were on the phone and nothing was resolved and we just were never friends after that. So it was very like, wow, like I'm not hurting anyone and I can have cake, you know. It's like I don't understand what the problem is. But like the grass is green on the other side part of this is I had a friend who moved. Well, there was a girl who moved because her parents were in the military to the school around the time that this happened. And we ended up becoming good friends, and her mom just understood, like or I think it was her dad that like worked in medical stuff with the military. So like, it's like, oh, I know what that is. And so you're not a freak. So like, thankfully I made new friends and things were better, but it's just one of those things where it's like at that age, and then with a parent who's not willing to like help their kid understand diabetes and instead enables it, it really like it messed me up a little bit, you know, for that time. It's like, is this gonna be the norm? Am I not gonna be invited to parties anymore? You know, like
my heart hurts for 8-year-old you. I'm glad that you made a new friend, and you know, it's funny you say that. Like I see Josh saying another cake denial story. I have a similar story when I was diagnosed. Not a friend, but basically I got diagnosed and my mom told me I could never have cake ever again as we were driving to the hospital. And I was sitting there like, I got diagnosed pretty close to my birthday, and I was like, Oh my god, like I was like that was like the most tragic part of this. Like I didn't understand what type 1 diabetes was, but I was being told I wouldn't be able to have cake. I'm glad I've had tons of cake since then, and my mom learned, you know, I had cake for that birthday. My mom learned that, okay, wait, no cake, because it was just, again, very misunderstood disease. It's very misunderstood, which is why it's so important that we have things like T1D Tuesday, and you know, it's great that we have streamers like yourself who talk about what it's like to live with type 1 diabetes, because we don't want people out there thinking we can't have cake.
Yeah.
Like, hello?
We deserve our cake, and we deserve to eat it too.
We do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. We need to organize a virtual Let Them Eat Cake party. Yes.
I love that.
Oh my god.
I would love something like that. We're
game.
Cooking up a great idea there. I really think that would be good. Like a great, like, oh my gosh, a cake happy hour in the Breakthrough T1D Discord.
Oh my god, though, like,
I love that idea.
Be so fun.
So chat, if you're watching and you're not part of our Discord, go ahead. There's a link. I just posted a link in chat. Please join. You can connect with other folk with type 1 diabetes like myself and Elia, or people who are parents of children with type 1 diabetes. Maybe you don't have it yourself, but you have someone close. It's a great place to connect. And we go through some hard stuff with living with type 1 diabetes or having loved ones with it, and it's good to have that support system. And a cake party, I think we should absolutely do.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm so down. Let me know when.
I'm gonna, when Monique gets back, I'm gonna talk to her, because that's definitely up her alley. Kind of, you know, we talked about there is a lot of difficult things, you know, managing type 1 diabetes, living with it. What would you, in your opinion, what's the most difficult thing about having T1D?
Oh man, I think, this one's a loaded question. Because it's like I try to maintain normality, you know, as much as possible, but I think there's just so much unpredictability sometimes that I just have to realize sometimes things are going to happen and it's going to interfere with certain things, and it's okay. It happens. And like, I think if I didn't have a support system, it'd be a lot harder. And I do, thankfully. But I think being very self-aware that if my diabetes gets in the way and ruins like my ability to have fun at the moment, it doesn't ruin fun for the whole life.
Yes.
Because like I get so down. I get so down whenever, like, because I was talking with you about like this past Sunday. I was at a pool party and I was having fun. We were all having a great time. And I went swimming and my pump decided not to be waterproof anymore. And so it was like an instant, like, you know, the record scratch moment, like, hey, so this is my life. Like, and so I had to like jump ship from the party and go take care of it. And it's one of those moments where I'm like, I really wanted to have fun swimming and do all this, but I need to stay alive, so I gotta go take care of this. This will fun will continue at another time, but it's just that those moments that I'm like, I can't get myself down. I can't get myself down, because I do get so down anytime like it gets in the way of just living, you know.
Yeah, it's hard not. I think it's hard not to in those moments where sometimes you feel like, oh, why do I have to live with this?
Yes.
Why, you know, why is this something? Because it's a 24/7 thing you have to think about and deal with, and moments like that it's inevitable that sometimes it's going to get in the way. But you're right, it's important not to let that like just defeat you. And hopefully your friends, you know, are understanding and, you know, understand kind of your maybe not completely, but your life with diabetes, and that obviously that is grateful. At the end of the day, that is a number one priority, is taking care of yourself. So
yeah, for sure. And yeah, I'm very lucky that like my friends, they were just like, no, we want you alive. Go do what you need to do. So it's like, Yeah, no, I'm very grateful to be surrounded by the friend group that I have right now. Like, I couldn't ask for a better group.
Wow, that's so good to hear that.
Yeah.
I love that. And now after being done, having the one friend at 8 years old
Yeah.
not give you an invitation to her party because of cake.
I know.
Now you have a good group of friends who at a party you had a diabetes complication and they were
like,
supportive. So
Yeah.
it all comes around.
Yeah.
It's so good to hear. How do you find yourself, again, with all these, there's a lot of ups and downs, there's a lot to manage. How do you balance managing T1D among everything else? And how do you prioritize?
I cry a lot.
Oh, no.
no. I just try my best to keep decent habits. In terms of like sleep, diet, and just everything. Like, because in college, I will admit, in college, I was a messy diabetic. I was up late. Of course, I partied. Like, and like you eat like a college kid, and I was definitely like not as careful as I should have been. But of course, it's like no. I really I don't want things to get worse down the line, so I gotta get it together. And of course, getting out of college, you get a job, you have all these things to do, and it's just like another thing you have to figure out. Okay, where do I need to prioritize my time, my health, everything, so that my brain doesn't implode. And I will say that therapy has also been really great for me. I'm very open about going to therapy.
Love that. Yes.
Yeah, and like my therapist, she's very much like, she's been such a great help, and she always mentions like, you didn't choose, of course, to have diabetes, but you're not letting it bring you down. Because like the moment you let it bring you down, it wins. And it's like, I can't let it bring me down for like it taking a victory. If I'm going to be a diabetic, I want to help those that have it as well, to show like it is possible to have the full-time job, to stream and have fun and be surrounded by a community of diabetics as well. Like, it's like, you're not alone. And just the more focus you put into self-care, I'm very much a promoter of self-care, then it like, you've got this, so I think that's, try to instill good habits.
I think that's so true. Like there's certain things you have to prioritize. Like you said, like your sleep. I know for me personally, exercise is important.
Yes.
It helps me keep my blood sugars under control. I notice if I go too long without being physically active, the highs start to cling a lot more. And it's doing those little things.
Just feels weird.
Just prioritizing your health. So
for sure.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
No.
I think that's okay to recognize it's not easy, but I'm glad you're, taking those steps and just have that recognition that I have to do these things for myself and for my health and to live kind of the best life you can have with T1D. What do you think is something that you deal with on a daily basis with T1D that others without T1D wouldn't think about? I know we kind of touched a little bit on this.
Yeah. I think just dietary awareness is just something that is very important, because it's not just like, oh, I have to count my macros, I have to do this. It's like, I have to also count like the amount of, what's my blood sugar now? What would it be in this amount of time? If I eat this type of carb, what will it do? Versus like a 30-gram thing of bread versus a 30-gram like bag of candy. It's like, they're so different. And it's like, food is so much more diverse to us, I feel like, than it is to like normal society. Because it's like, I could eat a slice of bread and then my body will respond to it in 5 hours. And it's just like, okay, work, and just being able to keep up with that, because at any moment, like, I don't know how you are with blood sugars, but when my blood sugar starts going up, I get so so irate and I get so mad, and it's just like it's just immediately like moody Elia. And then of course with low blood sugar, it's like I might as well be a drunk girl at a party. I'm just like, oh my god, you just lay
Yes.
down.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And so it's things like that where it's like if I'm out in public and these things are happening, that's not okay. And so it's just that awareness that everything that we do with our body has to be monitored. And while it's like, oh, this is so much work, it's like once you find a routine that works for you, it gets so much less stressful about it. It's still stressful, but it's just something that like to manage day to day, especially like if you come down with a cold, it could all change like quickly with the routine. It's like, all right, bye. Everything that worked last week, it's like, while I have a cold, I gotta either double up or just take additional time between meals. It's so crazy knowing the sensitivity that our bodies have sometimes.
Yeah, and I think it's everyone's a little different too with that.
Yeah.
Like the way you experience type 1 diabetes is not going to be the same as everyone else who has type 1 diabetes.
Yeah, for sure.
I know we talked a lot about like, oh, you brought up like how you feel and react with your highs and your lows. And I find I've talked to some people who they just don't even feel their highs and their lows. Oh
my gosh.
I'm like you where I definitely, when I'm high, I feel more so like I have a headache and I am like a little bit more like irritated and I get very tired. And then my lows are, I get that like shaky feeling. Definitely, if it gets really low, starts, sound like you said, like you kind of sound like drunk, like you start slurring, and I have a few friends who they like recognize that's like they can tell right away when I'm low.
Like,
but not everyone has that. And then too, like you said, like how different foods, different carbs. I think that's something we don't talk a lot about either. How different carbs can affect you. And I'll tell people
so
like my go-to snack for lows is either fruit or juice because those types of carbs break down quicker, so it's just more effective to, grab it. I keep those little like they're like the little kid boxes of juice, but they're the perfect little fix for a low blood sugar, and they're super fast acting. What's your go-to snack for lows?
Juice when I'm home because it's just quick, especially if I'm at work. It's like, all right, go back to work, like get normal. But I try to keep, funny enough, I love gummies. Gummy candies, sour gummy candies. Yeah. When I'm on the go, I keep a bag of sour gummies in my bag at all times. That's like my quick, like, all right, let's go. Because if I'm gonna relieve low blood sugar in public, I might as well make it fun. So, but yeah, no, juice is my go-to. Recently jelly beans have been like another one.
I think that's like, another, yeah. And both of those are kind of like, they're not fruit, but like they're they're fruit like adjacent.
They're essence.
They're like essence of fruit. It's kind of like the LaCroix of fruit.
Right? That's what I tell myself.
Would you say, we kind of talked about like, sickness and colds, I can actually kind of tell when I'm getting sick because my blood sugars will start getting wild. Do you have the same experience?
Oh my god, yeah. Like so I've had COVID once. And it was, I don't know if you've had COVID.
I did, yeah.
Oh my god, I felt like I was dying.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah.
But like before it happened, like my blood sugar would like spike and then dip. And I wasn't eating, I wasn't doing anything. I'm like, that's weird. And so like when I finally tested positive, I'm like, oh, and it didn't stop for like 3 days of just spike down.
Spike that's down. So scary.
And it was just like, body, I'm sorry, but like, it was but usually like I can feel the sickness coming on. High blood sugars are common when I get sick. It's just random highs. Same with periods, weirdly enough. Like,
Oh,
it's like,
gosh, that's so annoying.
It really is.
Because now that's once a month. Is it the whole?
Yeah.
You mind me?
Oh,
Like, is it like the whole
not the
time?
whole time. It's just
Okay,
like the
just
start
like
of it.
start of it.
Thankfully. Yeah.
That's not at least as
Oh,
bad
God,
as
I wouldn't survive
initially
if it was
thought.
a
I was like,
week.
oh gosh, that'd
no.
be
Yeah.
horrible. Like a week out of every month, you're just
my God.
dealing with that.
Yeah. No.
How do you-
Thankfully, it's just like the start of it.
How do you manage when it's, doing that like go high and dip? Because that's quite a roller coaster to deal with.
Yeah, I just remember drinking a lot of water during that time because I didn't want to overcorrect because it was just dipping. I was just gonna let the pump do its own thing and be like, the sensor knows, I'm gonna leave it there. So yeah, I barely ate because, well, number one, I just couldn't, like, I didn't want to. COVID made me not want to exist, so I wasn't really eating. I was chugging so much water, and that's kind of how I kept the balance of just hydration and just getting rid of sugar naturally. But yeah, like that was the kind of fix for the spikes when they lasted those 3 days, and then it finally leveled out, and it was like, okay, we'll get through this, I guess.
And that's
it was
like
scary.
Again, something you don't think about. Just like even a common cold can result in blood sugar swings like that, and something that's maybe not as big of a deal to someone who doesn't have type 1 diabetes is suddenly like a lot more scary to deal with if you do have type 1 diabetes. My COVID experience was a little different. I was high just constantly. I slept, woke up, checked my blood sugar, gave extra insulin, went back to sleep, woke up, still high blood sugar, was giving, it just did not want to go down. And that's scary too for other reasons because we've talked before, and this is, I think people don't talk enough about ketoacidosis.
Oh my God.
For people who in chat who maybe have never heard of ketoacidosis, that's your blood sugar stays up high, you start producing ketones, and it essentially turns your blood acidic. It's very dangerous, can lead to things like a heart attack. A lot of times you end up hospitalized, so you can get that under control. So having long-term high blood sugars, that can be the result of that. Have you ever experienced diabetic ketoacidosis, or?
Thankfully, no. But I witnessed someone going through it. Like, I was at the ER last year sometime with my partner, and in the stall next to us, someone was dealing with it like hardcore, and I'm just like sitting there like, oh my god, that's like something like at risk for me, and I'm just like mortified because the stalls were not private, unfortunately. So it's like, I heard everything going on in there, and it's just like the blood sugar's coming back at 520, 550, and I'm like, I would feel like my blood's on fire. Like, I can't even imagine. So
it's scary. Oh gosh, it is really scary, and it's that's why it's important that that's why we do all the steps we do to try to keep our blood sugars balanced. Is the reality is, if you don't, you can end up in a really bad position, and it's so important to prioritize our health.
Make sure your ketone sticks are not expired, everyone.
Oh my gosh,
you got good ones. I had to test, it was like sometime last year, and I had to go test for them, and I realized they were expired. I'm like, oh no, I can't do this now. But
I feel like that's every time I don't use them very often. I think that's the problem, is you maybe use them once once a year, maybe. I find myself needing one that I'm like, oh shoot, it's expired, I gotta go get new ones, and it's not something I usually check the expiration date for, because you don't think about it until
it's happening.
That's a good reminder. I should go check my ketone sticks
right
after this call. It's a really good reminder. How has Breakthrough T1D made an impact? I know you talked about kind of early on, but we talked about the early years. What about later years, how has Breakthrough T1D made an impact on your T1D journey?
So, like between like my teen years, I went to diabetes camp here in Texas. Yeah. And that was probably the last time I'd heard about them, was my last year that I went. And then it was all through high school, college, early adult years that I just didn't really like, I wasn't involved, unfortunately, and just wasn't present for it. And then I started streaming in 2019, right before the pandemic happened. And I happened to stumble upon 8-Bit Val's channel, who's also a fellow art streamer on Twitch. And I saw that she had mentioned JDRF a few times on stream, because I'm usually lurking in her streams, and I'm like, wait a minute, are you like when we recognize another diabetic? And she introduced me to the Twitch group and everything, the Discord, and was like, girl, get over here. And like it was like, I don't know, it was just a breath of fresh air, because I really hadn't had a group since I had been at diabetes camp like 15 years prior, where I was surrounded by fellow type 1 diabetics that were like peers and in the creative space. And I don't know, it was like an immediate I didn't even feel like new when I first like joined. It just felt like I was being like brought into just a normal reunion of everything. And I'm very grateful that I stumbled upon 8-Bit Val that one day and just immediately went back to streams and learned more and more. And yeah, it was just so cool. And because like my experiences with like finding other like diabetic groups hadn't been as pleasant, just because like I'm a very vocal and comedic type of like, I have a comedic take on like handling diabetes. I'm very much like, I handle depression with comedy. That's just how I do it. And a lot of like these groups were very like serious. We're by the rules, like very like strict. And it's like, that's great. I'm so glad I don't operate that way. And so it was just good to find like a group where everyone's just handling it differently, but also respectful of how each person's doing it in a supportive way. And it's like, oh, I know I'm like in my 30s, but this feels great to like find the group at this time in my life. And now I'm even more honored to be like part of it as an ambassador to just help even more.
We're honored to have you. I'm so glad you found us.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that you just happened to stumble upon 8-Bit Val. That's such a great story too. Her finding our community. It's so good. Love 8-Bit Val. She is a treasure as well. I also have like found that trying to connect, I love our community because it has like that, like, I'm trying to think of how to word this, but like Twitch has its own feel, and we're definitely like our own set of humor, and I think gamers in general do, and kind of you get that taste and that personality, but also, you know, the education and the connections, and it's really, it feels good to have both of those things in one place here in our community.
For sure.
It's really, really, I love that so much. As someone who, I never got to go to a diabetes camp as a kid, and I feel like I'm like a oddball out when I talk to people, because it sounds like everyone got to go, but I want to hear more about your experience attending a diabetes camp.
Yeah, so I went to Texas Lions Camp, which is in Kerrville, Texas. And the way that you are able to go is you get sponsored by one of the Texas Lions, and my dad happened to know the Texas Lions Club in our hometown, and they were immediately like, yeah, let's get her to camp. Let's get her to camp. And so I went the first summer after I got diagnosed. That was my first year going.
Oh, wow. Right away.
Yeah, right away. I got really lucky, and I went every year until I was 15, which is the oldest age to go. And those summers, I remember my last year, I would not stop crying on the way home, because it was just the best week of my entire year
Mm-hmm.
because it was one of those places like, yeah, you've got your school friends and
Mm-hmm.
everything throughout the normal year, but this entire week you're doing all these cool things. You're going swimming, you're riding horses, you're in a dining hall where everyone is diabetic, so it doesn't matter because we're all being taken care of dietarily. And like, I don't have to worry, like, yes, you can't eat the cake, we already counted the carbs for you. You know, like, and even like some of the counselors were diabetic, and so it was just one of those like places where like it really helped me find other people from all over the state, because at that moment I had just been in my small town bubble. But it made me realize it's like we're all out here, we're all just trying to keep on going with life, but we can still have fun. And like, funnily enough, I'm still friends with 2 of my campmates to this day.
That was gonna be my follow-up question, is if you have kept any of those connections. That's so special.
And we try to like, we're also busy. They have families now, and I'm so proud of everything they're doing. And like, but when we're in each other's like city, because we're all in different parts of Texas, it's like, let's meet up, you know, like, and it's just, God, and we check in on each other. It's just so cool that like to have friendships like that we met when we were like 10 at camp, because we have diabetes and like we're still out here living our best life. It's so cool, and I'm glad that like I had those memories there every summer. It was really great.
It's so important. I love that you got to have that, and that other children have those experiences, because I think, as we've said, it's so important to have those connections and that like that realization that I'm not alone going through this. And it sucks, and I hate. It's kind of like, you know, at the beginning of the stream, we were like, "Oh, yay!" But no, we both have diabetes. Because it is always, I think, exciting to be like, you also understand. You understand what I'm going through, and you know, I'm not in this alone. Even though this thing sucks. Do you feel like the camps, I think I've talked to other people about, like, it helped you feel more maybe like independence and taking care of your diabetes? Did you experience that as well?
Yeah, and like also at these camps, like they were very like educational.
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 That's the word.
They were very educational on like different things. Like I didn't have a pump until I don't even think I had a pump while I was at camp. I think I got it after my camp years were over. But because of like all the different like talk backs and like being able to talk to my camp mates that had pumps, I was able to like get the gist of what they were, so that I could talk to my endocrinologist about like, hey, what's the possibility of me being able to have a pump? Like, I wouldn't have the confidence to bring up the subject if I hadn't like learned about it at camp. We didn't have those like talkbacks. We were learning a lot about like the different types of insulin, because not every diabetic's on the same insulin. I didn't know that until I went to camp, and everyone's like, I'm on a Humalog, and I'm like, what is that? It's like, I'm a Novolog girl. What? Or Lantus, like there's people on like I was learning about all the different types of insulin. I didn't even know about pens, like the pen injections.
Oh yeah.
I was like, that's cool. Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's just, and it also like really made me realize that there's so many like different ways that technology and advancement with everything has just made living with diabetes a lot more like, not so like one type of way to take care of yourself. There's so many flexible ways to be able to manage it, and like insulin pump therapy, continuous glucose monitors, the pens, like that's heckin' cool. And the like glucagon, I didn't learn about glucagon. Like I had glucagon in my school pack, but I didn't know what to use it for until I got to camp.
Oh gosh.
And I learned about it. No, I know.
That's
like,
a little scary that
is.
You didn't have that knowledge already.
No.
I feel that someone failed you somewhere. That you didn't have that knowledge.
Like, wait a minute.
That's for anyone who's watching who maybe doesn't know what a glucagon is. It's basically, I think I've actually like really not looked at one because thankfully I've never had to use one.
Yeah.
Or at least have one.
Yeah.
But it's like usually like an injection, kind of like an EpiPen, that you can use on somebody who has had such a low blood sugar that they no longer can eat food or drink something to help their blood sugars go up. It's an emergency way to bring up a blood sugar.
Yeah.
So that's why my reaction here that, Elia didn't have that knowledge while having a glucagon.
Yeah.
I can't even
imagine. My school nurse didn't even like brief me on it.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things like, oh, you have it. Okay, good. You're good. So, and I'm just like, okay, yeah.
I have it.
Okay.
Oh, well, thank goodness for diabetes camp, giving you that knowledge and, you know, like even to like learning that there's different insulins and different ways to manage your diabetes. There is, as Josh is saying in chat, there's so much. I still feel like I'm learning things every day.
Same.
It's especially as research keeps developing, which I'm so grateful for, people like you who help us fundraise, because that's what the research, leads to is things like constant glucose monitors, better ways to, we have now these like closed loop systems where the constant glucose monitor communicates with the pump and you're kind of like an automatic machine at that point. And all these types of advances help people live better and healthier lives with type 1 diabetes, which if I don't know if you remember like back probably when you were diagnosed as well, like it was a lot scarier to be diagnosed with, I think, diabetes. There was hope for finding a cure. But it just the technology was not there, and I think it was more risky, being a type 1 diabetic than it is nowadays.
Yeah, like I remember testing blood sugar. Like I remember my first glucometer was, it looked like a brick. And it was these thick test strips that you had to like pour the blood into.
Oh, and, like, goodness,
No, it was so, like, I was like, this is every day. I have to do this every day. They're like, no, you have to do it 4 times a day. I'm like, oh, great, yay. Love this. So, like, and thankfully, like, just on glucometers alone, I feel like we've advanced so much. Like, now my glucometer lights up in the dark, and it just needs a little bit of blood. Like, I'm like, 8-year-old me would be so happy to know that she does have to do this forever. Like, oh my God. And didn't like, what was the other thing? Oh, it totally slipped my mind. But yeah, no, glucometers, I think, was like just the one way that you can see how it's advanced in just like so many ways.
Yeah.
In just one tool alone.
And I know people, sounds like you're still do manual testing, correct? You don't have a
I have a CGM, but I do the manual testing like every few days.
Oh, got you. Yeah. And that's, the CGMs, like I hear, all these stories about how people, their A1Cs, how dramatically it decreased. And which for people listening who don't know what A1C is, it's basically like a 3-month summary of what your blood sugars have been, and gives like, it's a good tell on how well controlled your blood sugar are. And the lower that number is, the better controlled you are, which means you're just going to be overall healthier. So having that number decrease dramatically from devices like constant glucose monitors is a big game changer for people with type 1 diabetes.
For sure.
As someone with type 1 diabetes, what gives you hope?
Community.
I love that answer.
Yeah, like like when I first before I joined Breakthrough T1D's group, I was still in like a loop, very very mental, like I'm alone in this again. Like the spark from diabetes camp long faded, and it's like I'm back in the workflow and everything. And I think just getting back into this group and seeing the community come together because we're diabetics, know someone diabetic, but not only that, doing what we can for the advancement of making it better and easier to live with, not just for ourselves, but for others. That's the power of community. And I think it it is so much more powerful than we give it credit for.
It is so that's how I feel every event we do with Breakthrough T1D play. My heart is so just unbelievably just overflowing with joy and happiness seeing all these people come together for this cause that directly affects myself, but also everybody else involved is, you know, to some degree, either if they live with it themselves or have a connection to it. We're all so passionate about finding cures and funding more research. And it is that is just I don't think that feeling is beatable. Like, it's just genuinely the best feeling every single time.
Like, for Creators for Cures, I do absolutely silly streams. Like, I get into a banana costume by the end of it if we hit goals. And like, by the last day, like, I forgot how much I think we raised like 1,000, 2,000. I can't remember. But when I hit end stream and I was just kind of sitting there, like, we did that, and I just start crying in my banana costume, like, oh my god, like, my community actually like loves supporting this, and like, it's not just helping everyone else, but this is like me as well. Like I get so happy that I'm able to do that, like, cry in a banana costume, because we've just had so much fun raising money towards type 1 diabetes advancements. You know, like, I'll put the banana costume on every day if we can get a cure, like, by the end of the year. You know, like, you know, it's a great feeling that we're able to have our communities and be one community. And
I love that. I totally feel that too, because that's like the other thing too, is it's not only the community of people who are doing the fundraisers, but your own Twitch community providing that support. And I know personally, when I get donations, sometimes people will share that they have type 1 diabetes too, and it's just like a longtime viewer of mine that I didn't know that they also were living with that. And and it's again those connections, the representation is so powerful. And that's why every day I'll get on stream and talk about diabetes in some form, because I know it's important to somebody out there, and it makes a difference. So I love doing that. I love that you also feel that way and experience the same thing there. It's so good. Do you have any type 1 diabetes influencers that you look up to yourself, or?
Oh my gosh, basically anyone in this group that I follow. Like, I get so motivated seeing y'all's posts. Let's see. Oh, now I'm like trying to remember, because like, I try to follow. If I'm not following you, I'm so sorry. But I try to follow so many people in this community, and just like, I get so motivated by just seeing peers do it, you know, do their thing. And so I love seeing that. As
we've said, literally this whole stream, so important to make those connections. It really, really is empowering to have this community of people together striving for cures and research. Kind of on a different topic, but still on the Twitch side of things. What I know you're more of like an artsy person. I think a lot of your work on Twitch is more like on the creative side. What about gaming, though? Are there any games that you're currently playing? What are your favorite games?
Yeah, I love gaming. It's kind of like my reward. If I finish a project, I'm like, all right, we're having a gaming stream. Like, we're just rewarding ourselves with some fun gaming. Right now, I'm in the middle of placing Thirsty Suitors, which is a really fun, like, dating sim skateboarding / dance game. It's so much, and the art is beautiful. No, it's got everything. But yeah, we're in the middle of playing that right now. And it's got amazing art. It's got great music, great mechanics. There's even recipes, and it's all based on Sri Lankan culture. So it's just really cool.
I'm gonna have to look that one up. I've not heard of that one. That sounds really fun. Do you find yourself as an artist kind of more? Do you lean towards games that have really like cool art styles that you're into, or is that not as big of a factor?
I want to say it's not a big factor, but then I look at the games I play and I'm like, I like the art of all these games.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really love gravitating to games that just have really great art. Like there's a game called Teacup. And it's literally just a little frog who is going to make tea for her neighborhood, but the art is just so cute. It's like a storybook. And like art will just make me gravitate towards a game. Katamari is one of my favorite video game series, and it's just so colorful and obnoxious, and I love it.
Yes.
Yeah. Like it's just so good. But yeah, outside of that, I'm an Animal Crossing girl. I got addicted to it during the pandemic, and I just logged in like the other day just to check on my villagers. They're still doing fine. So, but yeah, I love designing in Animal Crossing. But yeah, I just love like cozy games. I like cozy gaming or just puzzle games that like have stories to them, like the Samorost series. Yeah. Yeah,
it's good.
I like learning about new games too.
Love a good cozy game. I think there's a lot of, it's a lot of stress in the world. A lot of stress being a type 1 diabetic. And and it's nice to like have something to, unwind like that. Kind of just, get some relaxation. And I don't want to be stressed when I'm gaming as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
What other activities? I know we talked about art, we talked about cozy gaming. What else do you like to do in your free time?
I like baking, and like I try to, and what I like to do, because we're diabetics, is try recipes with like sugar alternatives or like ingredient alternatives, because like I don't like sugar. It's weird. I don't like sugar because I'm just used to not eating it, and my body doesn't like it for sure. So I love experimenting with recipes of things that I like and make them more diabetic friendly for sure.
I love that.
I love baking cakes. Cakes are my favorite.
Cake! You're back to the cake.
I love
the cake party.
I'm reclaiming my cake era.
What's your favorite thing that you've baked?
Ooh, favorite thing.
Tricky one.
I love making pies. Ooh. And I made my first diabetic friendly pecan pie like a couple years back. It was the hardest thing ever because replacing corn syrup is insane. I'll have to find like my edited recipe of it, but it wasn't completely like you're gonna have to bolus for this, this pie. Yeah. But it was a lot less than like the one you can get at the store, because like I was like, I love pecan pie, but I can only have like 2 bites before I'm over it. So yeah, it was my goal to like make one, and it actually turned out pretty okay. I made it for Thanksgiving.
I think that's even like the having, it doesn't have to be completely maybe like low carb where you don't have to bolus, but I think even like finding recipes where it's less insulin you have to take is also nice to have too. And I think it also helps with, in my experience, not having my blood sugar sway as much as if I'm eating something lower carb. Because we definitely can eat, you can bolus for anything. I definitely have taken some real big dosages of insulin so that I could have very carb heavy dishes, but at the end of the day, having options that are still satisfy those cravings and satisfy what you want to eat, but maybe doesn't cause your blood sugar to sway as much is very, very nice. So I would love to see some of those recipes, honestly, and I'm curious what you use to kind of replace things. Yeah, like corn syrup and...
Yeah, I forgot what I used for corn syrup, but that was the hardest part because I'm like in general, my body and corn syrup do not agree. If something has too much corn syrup, I get instantly sick. It's so sad, but like, it's hard to replace it because it's one of those key ingredients in the United States. Yeah. So.
Unfortunately, well, I'm glad that's such a fun hobby and a great tie into our diabetes talk here, and I love that so much. Elia, we're almost out of time.
No.
I'm so sad. Our hour is almost up. It's been really fun talking to you. I do a question we always ask, and this is my favorite question that Monique has written up. is if there is one thing you could say to your younger self, having just been diagnosed with T1D, what would you say?
It makes me want to cry.
Oh.
But we're going to be okay. And it's not going to be as hard as it is now. And you're not alone, girl.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so important. I love how this whole conversation has revolved around the importance of community and not being alone, because that's at the end of the day, we are not alone.
Yeah.
We have, a Discord full of people, like just that, and that's like such a small little picking of people who are impacted by type 1 diabetes.
Yeah.
And knowing that we have, I love every day seeing the messages in there, because it is that reminder that I'm not alone. I'm not alone in this. It's so important. Yes, and Zat in chat, the days are getting brighter. Agree.
Yeah.
Like all of this, as we said, all the research and everything that has come from it. We're getting close. We're getting so close to finding not just a cure, but cures plural.
Yeah.
Like
it's amazing.
I remember
it's all thanks to y'all.
Yes.
It's all thanks to y'all.
Yes.
Listen.
It's
we're
so
doing
important. How that leads me to my next question. How can people help and support those who are in the T1D community?
I think just if you have that connection, like your friend, a colleague or whatever, get to learn about it with them. Ask questions, be nice about it, but ask questions.
Yes.
And try to see how you can get involved. Like there's always communities out there. Like here in Dallas, there's walkathons that happen, and I bet I'm gonna try to catch the next one and make my friends go with me. I'm gonna be like, y'all get walking, let's go, we're saving diabetes. Like,
yes.
So yeah, it like make it fun, like it doesn't all have to be like, oh, this is a disease where the pancreas, like, no, it's okay. Like the awareness can be awesome, and bringing people into it in a positive way can help us continue moving things forward in a better way for everyone.
Yes.
So yeah.
I love that. And that's, as you said, like the education aspect. I know I'm personally always happy as long as you ask in a respectful way.
Yes.
That's I think that's the big key part. Always happy to talk about my experiences and what I've had a lot of people who will ask, like, what, they just don't even know what diabetes is or the difference between type 1 and type 2. And it's so good to just think that there's so much misinformation out there, and having people like you out there helping educate, I think makes such a huge difference. I want to give you a chance here to go ahead and plug yourself. Let us know what you're up to, what people can expect if they come to your stream.
Yeah, so my name is Elia, SpicedEliastrations on Twitch. I do mostly creative chaotic co-works, because I have so many silly channel point redemptions on my channel, but I love sitting, chatting, coloring with y'all, and you can find me on socials everywhere except Twitter, because they didn't let me have all SpicedEliastrations. I don't get that many characters. But,
yeah.
I know. But I am on social media. Feel free to drop any messages, questions, if y'all have any questions on diabetes or just like my journey in general. I'm mostly an open book, and art questions as well. Like, that's totally fine. And I'll be coming out with my first graphic novel this next year, so I'm really excited for that. And
that's
I hope
so excited.
More. Yeah.
I love. Yeah, we didn't even get to touch on yet. Elia does a lot of. We mostly talked about type 1 diabetes, but Elia has a lot of really cool things going on. Please go check them out. Like, genuinely, they have a podcast as well.
Yeah, I'm on My Primo's podcast, where we talk about pop culture things from a Latina perspective. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, please go check all things Elia, because she if you've never seen one of her streams, like one of the most fun streams I've been in, she talked about like the banana, like was dancing to like you had Pitbull behind you. I think you have him back there right now. Yeah.
Yeah, there he is. It's silly.
Such a good time. Such a good time. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Yeah.